Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on KwingsLetsPlays, brought to you by our friends over at Capcom, who've provided a copy for review, walkthrough, and live streaming purposes. So today, we continue the second game, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures #2 Resolve, and we are back at the consultant agency, and yesterday we spoke with Susie about some stuff, and now we're gonna go and try to investigate again as we are on a one-day recess from the court proceedings. So, yep. And of course, poor Natsumi-san is the one that is in trouble yet again. So we're gonna do our best.
Poor Soseki Natsume.
Yeah, to see what's going on with him.
And by the way, guys, Luke hasn't slept a lot, and his voice kind of went out last night. He was doing his Batman video, so he can barely talk. I got him some tea. Maybe I'll have to do a lot of the guy characters. We'll see.
I've had a lot of tea over the past.
Luke has had a lot of tea.
Okay, so we spoke to Susie yesterday in detail. Okay, this is good.
Yeah. Soseki is very unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's one of those people. Well, people say if you think that bad things will always happen to you, then they will always happen to you. Darn it. So maybe he's one of those people that always thinks negatively. Or things just bad happen to him for no reason. Because sometimes when I'm thinking really positively, bad things happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just a fluke. Sometimes bad stuff just happens.
Let's try going to...
Also, people do take advantage of people in other countries, like, that don't speak the language.
Yep. Alright, 22nd of February, St. Bart's Hospital Recovery Ward.
What do you suppose is happening, Ryunosuke? It sounds like some sort of disturbance.
Huh? Yeah, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken.
Mistaken, my foot. You were looking at my painting. I forgot what I did for her voice.
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish that you died from that poison.
God, O mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance. Okay.
Ooh, that looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
It's weird. Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? Huh? What are you doing here, Shakespeare? Mary, I do believe I'm returned from unto another world.
He was looking, that's what he was doing! Looking at my terrible work! I forgot what it sounded like.
Eastern fellow, so dark clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you, I guess. But that doesn't mean things will go wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Huh?
What? How did you bend that?
That's impressive.
It's a prop. But still. Anon.
Anon.
Exant, I think?
I don't know what that is.
Anon is like a Shakespeare word, I know that.
Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to him than that. It's very hard to pin the man down.
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Miss Green, is everything alright?
Oh, yes, I mean, don't worry about me. Oh. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we're delighted that you'll soon be well. To go home, Miss Green. Oh, dear. You're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Okay, so we're gonna explore her room again, I guess. Unless they already count as... Yeah, okay, never mind. I've already looked at her room extensively. Except maybe that painting that she was... No, never mind. Can't see what she was painting either. Okay, Miss Green. Can we actually talk with you? Yes, okay. So you're feeling more like yourself today, are you?
I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yeah, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife. I collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already.
What a terrible week it's been for you, Miss Green.
Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky. Really, I look back on this fondly.
Really?
Well, anyway, I must be getting my things back together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously very busy. Okay, so that's all she has to say. The mouse can't talk to us, obviously.
Obviously.
I guess if we've exhausted every option to speak to her then. So you're feeling more like yourself then?
I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, that's all, yeah.
I just want to give Miss Green a hug. She's so sad.
She's very sad.
What a terrible week it's been for you.
Oh no, I'm sure I'm very unlucky. I mean, very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly.
Really?
Anyway, I must be getting my things back together.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time. Okay, yeah. So we can't be here. We have to.
She's cute.
We have to leave. Where are the options for us to go?
I would be Miss Green's friend.
We can go to Mr. Shamsphere's room. We can go to Briar Road, the Garradeb's room, the prison. Let's try to go to Shom's suite. That always tends to work out. Okay, 22nd of February, Shom's suite.
Oh, Bruno and Susie! Hooray, you're back!
Huh? What? Oh, yeah.
Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see.
I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set up some cups.
Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have you pair been, Huh? We've been in court. Duh. Oh, for my mustached case? That was today, was it?
I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Lord Van Zeek's an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still.
Mr. Sholmes! Whatever is that odor?
Yeah, what is that? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed, that is the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science.
Oh dear!
Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Okay, so now we get to talk with Shomsy. Makes sense.
Shomsy!
Lord Van Zeeks.
Is your throat okay, honey?
Meh. Lord Baron Van Zeeks is an interesting person. He, the Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that someone is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later their hapless soul will vanish from the capital.
Wow.
But vanish how exactly? Ah, by falling under a passage carriage or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. Ah, it all seems a little far-fetched, though, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
Oh, if the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Ziek's own hand.
As it happens, Miss Susie, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion early on. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? Yes, quite right. And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago. He vanished from the courts, never to appear as prosecutor again. That is until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death, coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly indeed. And there you are, facing Mr. Reaper once again.
Oh, poor Bruno, I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky. Or incredibly unlikable.
I think it goes deeper than just me. It seems a sense of general loathing, actually, of all Japanese people. I know, right? Terrible. Alright, let's find out what the foul smell is. So, what is that in really bad smell? Indescribably bad smell. Ah, well, most notably this, and I would say that. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea.
Oh my!
There are some unscrupulous sorts of manning the stalls along with some of London's less frequent streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is it in fact merely dyed leaves or drab flavor? Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior, wouldn't you say? So when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful, Iris. Okay.
At the ready, Hallie.
Alright then. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this teacup here. Do you see what happens? It turned completely black.
Oh wow. And what a foul odor it's giving off!
Indeed. The blacker of the tea becomes... and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was particularly fine. That's very ingenious, but what do we do with the black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you?
Oh, there does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation also.
Yes, forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times.
I regularly engage in the scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigation technique is based. Probably. This little tea, Indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Nope. I'm going to talk about the Japanese peeps. Everything out of order. With Mr. Natsumi, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese, as well as Misato and myself, I feel it even is more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zeek seems to have an inherent disdain of all Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
It was about 10 years ago that Baron Van Zeek chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
No!
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened?
Wait, his best friend was from Japan, and now he hates Japanese people?
I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but, oh...
Yes, it's rather sad. The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Mr. Mustache. Forensic science. So, your T-test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is, Mr. Naruhodo. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required? Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our court's record as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. I haven't even heard of that until recently, though. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field, myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? Are you okay, honey?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
There are others in that field already, and I harbor the company of inferior minds. No, what I'm researching is skin prints. Skin prints?
Nomenclature.
A nomenclature of my own design has this chemical agent that makes it possible. It, instantly reveals objects touched by whoever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes!
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely, black, mind you. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Okay, then. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
That's the spirit, Ryuno. See you later.
Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. Ah, you were? Yes, of course. You said it just a moment ago. You said that you'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I will surely follow you later in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me, Holmes.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival.
Bye-bye, Ryuno. Bye, Susie.
Alright, well, that does that.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, we've had to, like, stream a lot recently, so that's why sometimes we move stuff back a little bit. But we try to start at 4:15, but it's been kind of hard lately. Also, usually it's my fault, but just Luke hasn't been feeling well today.
I guess
so,
we'll go to...
I'm kind of a jerk, because usually it's my fault, and then Luke doesn't say anything at all. To me, he's just like, no worries, and then it's Luke's fault one day, and I'm like, no, Luke, I was on time! It's so hard for me to be on time. I did get done at 3:45, the ideal time for my streams to get done.
You did.
22nd of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. So yeah, most of the afternoon streams will go 2:30 to 3:45. That gives me enough time to run up, turn the fan off so Luke will stop sleeping a little bit, then run back down, share the video, and plug in the other system, and then wait 15 minutes for Luke to wake up, and then we can start at 4:15. But sometimes Luke has a migraine.
Yeah. All right, so we're in Mr. Natsume's... Wait, why am I Mr... Oh.
James says, how was your day? And Brandon says, where is Zelda?
Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah, yes, I know the score. Oh, yes, on the other hand, the soap on the ledge outside the window, did you find it? And with the tea in it? Yeah, we found it all right, and there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. With the identification section at the yard now, they're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing, forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything here. Okay, Gregson. There's Sholmes. He did make it.
I mean, what was Sholmes talking about with the tea? I think he was trying to say that cheap... Oh, that was a huge thing in the Victorian era. I was watching something about that. In bread, in tea, in any kind of their products. Even in milk. Like, they would put chemicals or poison in it to make it look more white or make it look more tea-like. Like he just said, because the tea was so cheap and dry, it didn't have a nice green or black color, so they would actually add in dye into the tea to make it look more black, so that it would look better to people buying it, but in reality, that if you drink too much of that, it would be like poison. But they did the same thing with milk. Like, in the Victorian era, I don't know if you guys know this, it's kind of disgusting, but they would actually take milk that was curdled and past the point, and they would add like some kind of chemical into it to make it appear not curdled, so they could still sell it. Like, it had gone bad long before, but they would put chemicals into it to make it edible, but it really wasn't edible, because not only were you drinking curdled milk, but now you're also drinking poison. They did that. They also used to put like even like things like really weird chemicals. Like, I think they used to put like chalk and like asbestos like in the bread. Like, they would just try to make the bread look whiter by putting chemicals in it. It was a huge thing, because this was before, like, right now you have a label where it has to say on your food what is in it. Back then you did not have to say that. Alright, I'm done. I'm done with my thing. But yeah, they would put weird stuff like lead and stuff in food back then. It was really weird.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was really freaky.
Alright, so let's examine, and then we'll talk with Holmes.
Yeah, Droggle says they do something similar with cheese. Yeah, they do some weird stuff with shredded cheese even nowadays. They put, something in it.
Alright. The ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
Yeah, that's fiction, Miss Susie. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, you guys didn't do anything wrong by talking about it. Actually, I needed to talk about that because Luke needed a drink of his tea, so sometimes we will just talk during the playthrough if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, sometimes vamp.
Sometimes we like to vamp.
If you run out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For needy London winters can be very harsh.
Oh, that's true if you think about it. Even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susie and I are going to make it to the spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Look at how dark the stain of the floor is underneath the meter there, though.
Yes, from all the water ripping out of the ice coins, melted as you established in court this morning.
Yeah, it's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it?
Mr. Shamspeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that.
Yeah, the chat is saying, Candle in the Dark and Drugler are both saying, and I think I do remember this actually. You guys are so smart. Juliet actually did not end her life with poison. She tried to drink the poison, but there wasn't any left, so she had to use a knife.
Yeah. The sun never shines. Oh, the sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked up window over there.
Oh, yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Susie.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo. Man, I feel like Susie is already kind of like reining you in. Like, you can't do this. You can't do this, Ryunosuke. Like, whoa, Susie. Kind of controlling much. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances?
Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Yeah, then you can practice your art every single day. You can make a cardboard cutout of Van Zykes.
I'll think about it if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
This I have to see. Never happen.
That's never gonna happen.
Nope. Okay,
that's a really poorly made stage.
It's a very poorly made stage.
That looks like me trying to put wood together in a stage.
Mm-hmm. Anything else we can click on here?
However, that's my next thing I want to do after I learn to cook. Which I did. I went to school for it, but after that, my next endeavor is, well, obviously flying a plane, but then I want to learn wood crafting and how to make, like, little shells out of wood, like, I don't know, just craft different things out of wood and stuff.
I guess we'll talk to Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Was it not you, your good self, who asked me to attend the scene? Oi! What are you doing there, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
It's now the time, Mr. Sholmes. Are you about to show us your forensic talent in action, as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Oh. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Holmes' sensational skin print-seeking gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this refined indicator solution. By literally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There now. Spray the chemical indicator about, and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that exactly? A little press of X. A little press of X on the area you're interested in is all that's required, like this. Whoa, what is this stuff? It's like fog. Suspense of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to uncover a large area. That was another invention I discovered, incidentally, whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Okay, so we're gonna spray everything. Yep, there's some handprints on the floor. Some handprints over there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, guys, just a warning. I do like to do fun facts, and we like to discuss different things, so that will be part of our series. Oh my gosh, who's like... It's like a mouse.
Mouse? Where?
Well, that's kind of what it looks like, all the prints everywhere. Maybe.
Should we keep going until it's empty?
I don't know. I don't think it is gonna run out. I mean... What is it looking for?
His fingerprints, I guess. Oh, it saved something.
I don't know what it's doing. Maybe look back in the other area again? I don't know, I think you did it. Everything.
It looks like I've sprayed everything.
I mean, I don't know what... That's showing the chemical that was everywhere?
Oh, look at this here!
Hmm.
Ah, yes! Interesting, a multitude of victims' handprints. Oh, that's Susie.
Oh, why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot, though?
Oh, perhaps he had a brief fall just here?
There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there?
I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over.
I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes.
Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints are all over the floor. Yeah, there's no obvious explanation either. Okay. I mean, maybe that's where they were wrestling? I don't know. So I can't leave until I examine everything? Can I examine the handprints or no? Come on! What else? What else? What else? What else?
I don't know, honey. Great to see you guys. Princess Emmy. Hey, Candle in the Dark. Great to see you, VG Shine. Hey, Drago. Hey, Total Spies fan. How's it going, Scientist? Hey, Ethan. Suggs. Hey, Brandon and James. Hey, everyone.
Hey, look there! There are dozens of handprints on the wall. So there are a great many indeed. So much that it is hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
Oh, it sends a chill down my spine. Brr!
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture?
Seems weird.
Unlikely, I would say. It's rather dull scene after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Miss Susie. It's a bit of a mystery then, isn't it? Okay. Well, we sprayed Mr. Holmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we?
We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
The handprint on the floor there, and the handprint on the wall over there by the picture, you mean?
Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment.
No, I see that right
there.
What is it, Miss Susie? What'd you find?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out.
Oh, one of the... You mean it's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Miss Susie. So what do we have here? What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right there this minute. It is my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips, whilst we dig under the floor here. You fancy talking putting me off my food anyways, Sholmes? New bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find.
It's not a hiding place that you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat.
No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Aren't you curious?
Oh! I'll investigate it at once, Ryunosuke.
They're so cute.
She has to stand on a box. There's nothing behind that picture, sadly. Only the wall.
How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints?
I really can't think of why anyone would have been touching the wall over there. And over in a place like that.
Click. Were. There you are, print for you. Photographic print. The handprints on the wall have been entered into the court record. Oh, that's very nice. Wow, thank you very much. This invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. Hey, I am desperate to know, said Sholmes.
Oh, so am I. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been looking at the chat.
You're fine.
Thanks.
I mean, we definitely see there's a thing over there. You would think there would be something in that floorboard.
Yeah.
Over there.
I guess.
Alright, Gregson, what's going on?
Looks can be deceiving.
I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we are well acquainted, yes? Inspector Gregson? Really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. That didn't work. A dismal failure, I'm afraid. Yes, I heard, I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard, though. Ah. Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose that should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There are 3 items under the floorboard there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know?
What do they look like?
Newspaper clipping. Looks like this was cut out of a paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got stuck and died while he was serving up time in Manchester. How terrible. It made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got to him first.
Oh my goodness! He committed a capital offense?
Man by the name of Sheldon, nasty piece of work, into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like, yes. And he's in it somewhere, and no one knows where it is, and now he's dead. Whoops. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Or some such was the headline, I believe. Does it not strike you, though? Why would such an article be so carefully
Ensconced?
I would just say encased.
Yeah.
Carefully encased under the floorboards. Well, I suppose now you mention it, does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got at Sheldon at the yard and see if I can turn something up. The capital offender article has been added into the court record.
I already have a theory on this.
Oh?
Alright, here's my theory. You know, Romeo and Juliet, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole thing was the poison, like, wasn't real. It was just supposed to make Romeo look like he was poisoned. But then Juliet didn't know that. That's why she killed herself. And then he got up and then realized, oh my gosh, she killed herself. Then he killed himself. So, maybe this guy took poison that made him appear dead so he would get out of the death penalty. Then when they carried his body outside of the prison, then he just like got up and left. And maybe this guy was researching that and then was like, oh, I'm gonna be like Romeo and Juliet and practice this. Like, picture this guy like me. He can't separate fantasy from reality. So he's trying to be like Romeo and Juliet, and he's like, are there any real cases of this in real life where a person pretends to die by poison? Oh, let me try this out myself. Then he could check and see what kind of poison that guy used and then try it himself.
I see.
I don't know. That's just my theory.
Alright, let's ask about the photographic print now.
That's just my theory, though.
That's a good theory. We'll see. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yeah, yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadeb, landlord of... Susie.
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, of course.
But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garadeb's son, perhaps? Perhaps you can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure?
It's one of the jurors, though.
No, it's not.
Oh.
We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows the identity of the young fellow that is. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, so I heard. The hidden photograph has been entered into the court record. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamsphere himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garadeb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. What? Alright, the tin box. Now then, this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised. Yes, well, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamsphere, give us a clue, man!
I know. You didn't have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yeah, thin air. It's empty, rather than how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box, then? I wonder. I suppose we'll have to see.
I wonder if Susie feels like... Oh.
Oh!
Meow.
Oh, the kitty!
You love cats.
That is, that's
Calico?
Mr. Natsumi's cat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look! It's that lovely little kitty cat! What was his name again? Wait.
It's Mr. Natsumi's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call him...
Wagahai? Waggy.
Waggy. You know, like Mr. Natsumi refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got it in here, clever cat.
Clever girl. Oh, how wonderful! Well then, Waggy, here's some delicious something I brought you from the cat's meat man.
What?
I don't know. I think she got it from the butcher.
Oh.
Meow. Some raw meat.
Haha.
Cats are carnivores.
Yeah, of course they are.
Disturbing. Frightening.
Aww.
Haha! He couldn't be happier now. Look.
I just hope we bring some happiness to his owner, though. Okay. You can examine the cat?
Look at, he was doing biscuits.
Yep, he was making biscuits. Biscuits on the floor.
So cute.
Oh, kawaii.
So cute.
Oh, the kitty's gonna tell us something? That was cheeky little meow. Waggy. Oh, that's it.
Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever.
I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. Okay, well, what do we have left to investigate? Can't talk to this fool. Everything's been clicked on.
Wait, what about both of those? What about the one with just the collar on it? Did you click on that one?
What do you mean?
The next to the guy with the crown, there's one with just a collar. Oh yeah,
it's all, it all counts.
I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Well, it's saving, so probably we should go. Let's see what options we have available left to us.
Maybe you can, maybe where the cat came from. Is that a place to look?
I mean, I don't think a person could fit behind there.
Oh, yeah, you already looked at that.
Yeah, we already looked at everything.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
They won't even let us look at the other side of the room. I'd love to look at the front of the room, but they don't let you. Okay.
Me too.
Let's bounce.
They do a good job drawing these rooms, though.
Yeah, they do. We could go to Mr. Garadab's. We could go to the prison.
That's the happiest kitty faces candle in the dark.
Yeah.
The board on the wall question mark says Droggle. I think we tried to look at it.
Yeah, we did try to look at the board on the wall.
We tried to, but thank you, Droggle.
It's not available to click on.
I wonder how much 1,000 pounds was back then, because now it's like 1.25k or around, says scientists. Yeah, it was probably worth more back then.
I mean, you could always, in Victorian London, you could Google how much was 1,000 pounds worth in today's currency. Like, that would help you out.
This took me a while, but there's a few spots you need to find, says VG Shine. Oops. Did we find all the spots, VG Shine?
Well, they let us go talk to Natsumi. 22nd of February, local prison cell number 9.
Oh, Mr. Natsumi is back.
So he is. Mr. Natsumi, hello. Oh no. Mr. Eccentric guy. I am a cat. Sorry. I don't know who Mr. Natsumi is. Or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts of trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That is what I am. Just a cat, meow.
Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality.
Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name then, kitty? As yet, I have no name.
Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought of his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality.
Oh my gosh. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsumi?
I wouldn't. Just go la 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 la. He doesn't want to.
Not this again. Oh, I am not a cat.
It worked. He's back in the real world. Ryunosuke.
What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that. It is obvious. My cursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate.
Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope!
Yes, yes! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but! The Reaper is omnipresent in court, in my lodgings! Here, there, everywhere! What he's looking straight at me for? What did I do? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss, Mr. Natsumi. Oh, yes! Yes, we must! Okay. Let's talk. This morning's trial.
I just had a really random thought.
In my whole life, I have ever been so moved as I was today. No! Of course, if I cast my mind back where we were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I had just blocked out those, then today, being in that courtroom was... Oh, it was the most moving experience of my life! Low-group student Mr. Naruhodou Esquire! You're too kind there, Natsume.
Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and we are analyzing it as we speak.
There's nothing wrong with the tea! They won't find a drop of poison in it! That's, solemn sworn Suzuki certainty! Okay. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot! We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at
the time, you were both completely fine then.
As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamsphere then engaged in a Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. Mr. Shamsphere. That rotten Shamsphere! What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? Oh, I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all. Right. But I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Know what?
Let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh, yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and it's trying to kill me. Capital offender?
Oh my gosh! Maybe the guy's still alive!
Might I ask, Naruhodou Esquire, that next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps? Why soap? I don't...
He's gonna do the same thing that other guy did. Now he's gonna make fake coins.
Oh, so he can make fake coins so he can have more
have
heat. Oh, okay.
Now they just told a whole bunch of people how to cheat the system, though. In court, like, everyone who was in that court that day was like, oh, how shocking that someone would cheat the system that way. Writes it down.
Continues to cheat the system. Yeah. What is this?
Alright, see you later, Ethan.
It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamsphere's room. Oh. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry. About this man, Sheldon. A convicted killer. And the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings.
What?
He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another miserable, mustached, much mangled Japanese man. Me. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. Whoa. Okay. Oh, the truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. The Sheldon man was arrested about a year ago now. At the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garadeb's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now. In my very room.
Oh, wow. Oh my! Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense?
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse.
What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, it's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Sheldon, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances The room was locked from the inside! Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So, that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes. Well, that was the start of it. Okay. The convict's curse.
I think the guy's still alive and somehow hiding behind a wall or something.
I don't know. Susie.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? I only found out that after I had signed the lease. When Mr. Gyakuten came to tell me later, he couldn't stop himself from trembling. In fact, if I had known beforehand, I probably would have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal. Lucky for Mr. Gyakuten, maybe, but not so lucky for Mr. Poor Natsume. Gas leak death. And now you believe this curse is affecting you. It is! At first, I felt as though I was being watched all the time. And then you talked about having... Oh, then you talked about having nightmares, though, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me, then try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice.
But why is your room so cold, Saseki?
Oh, London winters are too cold to bear without any heating overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. It's exactly the same situation what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned.
Wow.
There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though.
Yeah, it feels like somebody's trying to kill both of them.
Gas leak.
Yeah, and purposely put the pilot light out. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I guess we'll have to present some more stuff. Alright, so he reacted to the newspaper article. What about... Gas meter I don't think is going to do anything. I want to hear his stance on the soap. The soap's been useful so far.
Mr. Natsume, what do you know about this?
Ah! There it is! That lathery lowlife that took my neighbor's life and sent me sliding to the depths of despair! Slippery, silky, psychotic saboteur!
Okay.
You've really gone off soap, haven't you? Absolutely! And I made up my mind. The next time someone gives me soap as a present, it's... friendship finished firmly forever!
Why does he not like the soap?
I have no idea.
I don't know that we could blame soap on for everything that's happened, Mr. Natsume.
Oh. Okay, so apparently that got a reaction from him, but not the reaction that we were hoping for.
I don't understand what's happening at all. Like, I think the killer guy faked his own death with poison and, like, came back.
Maybe. Let's see if he reacts to this. Mr. Natsume, it's not much, but... Ah! It's been long since I've offered a present with delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. What? You're too kind. I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you naturally. Oh... He doesn't care. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Alright, later Natsume. We're gonna go somewhere else.
I feel so bad for him.
I'd like to identify the person in this thumbnail. I'd like to identify the person in this picture. So we're gonna go talk with Mr. Gyakuten, I believe.
Well, like, no wonder he's going crazy, because, like, if your room is filled with gas every night, you're gonna start having, like, headaches and start to feel really sick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of problems, exactly. Oh, Hey, there you are, Mr. Garadeb. How are you? Well, right bally business it is for me, you know. Getting out and about, it is. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance today? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings. Yes, yes. Of course, the place has quite a stir around the capital on mere than one occasion already. Ooh, why don't we call this episode The Haunted Apartment? I like that.
Yeah, the haunted lodgings.
No. Ah!
The haunted apartment. Great to see you guys in the chat. Hello, DRA22. Hey, Rebecca. Said back then hand soap had arsenic in it. Oh wow, Rebecca.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. OH says, to answer your question, oh yeah. Hey, OH, he, Droggle says, gas poisoning, scientist, hey, scientist Squid. Great to see you, Judd, and Total Spies fan. Hey, Ethan, great to see you, Candle in the Dark, Battle Guy, Renee, Tiger X, and Total Spies fan. Hey, Princess Emmy, Tara Ann Grace, and everybody, VG Shine.
There we go.
Hope you guys are all having a great day today.
Part 27, Resolve The Haunted Apartment Case. There we go. Of course, the place has quite a few stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what blazes is going on, don't you know? Oh.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
Wait, where did he come from?
In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsumi's other trial, oh my gosh, Sholmes is here! Just 2 days ago, you were at the Old Bailey as well then, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened.
Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business, mind you. I see.
Aww.
Oh, he's standing up. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? We just saw Sherlock Holmes again. Where is he? Unless he's following us. It's possible he could be following us. Alright, let's talk to you. What's going on, guy? Your lodgings. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet from rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally of a curse. The convict's curse, you mean? Ah, you heard the stories, have you now? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, and the next chap in the room kissed keels over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? Collywobbles?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Yeah, collywobbles.
Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still, sir. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, but
Sholmes.
you'd wake up with natural gas in your face.
Exactly. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up there. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, mind you, in case there are any mishaps or such like. Ah, I think you've had your mishap already, sir.
Sholmes.
That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes, like, at all. Heaven forgive me, the words just came to my lips.
How does Sholmes always show up out of nowhere? I don't know, OH.
He's a ghost, perhaps?
Latia says, by next year, I want to become a member of you guys' channel.
Thank you.
Awesome, Latias. That's very sweet. Great to see you, Latias. Hope you're having a great day.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? There's no need for that, Mr. Garadeb.
That's right. Mr. Natsumi is no way fishy at all.
He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacationary immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Vacancy. Ah, yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone, and he popped up at the very same day. Never came across a trappist so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as a cheap rent, actually.
So, how long has Mr. Shamsphere been lodging under your roof, then?
That failed actor chap? Let's see now. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. Only 3 months? He's quite new here, too, huh? And to what do we owe you... And what do we owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garadeb, if I may ask? Well, it was that Sheldon scoundrel as it happens. Sheldon, the convict, you mean? Do Sheldon and Shamsphere have some kind of connection, then? Shamsphere's tenacity.
Tenancy.
Tenet.
I think that means, like, him just staying in his house.
That convict chap passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or other or whatever, who cares?
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, that was only 3 days after the tragedy showed his face, the fellow actor, I mean. Really? Yes, that's quite right. I remember quite distinctly. 'Tis small this world we inhabit. Pray, if landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamsphere, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor you've offered a while for rent. I'm terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine until thee. Those curls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor or nothing. Very well, we have an accord. Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road. Shamsphere dance to celebrate. He wanted Natsumi's room. You're right, it's the same guy. From what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in errors with the rent, too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, all right. 3 months behind his rent?
How did you let him keep staying there? You should have changed the locks.
Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garadeb. We are most grateful.
Wait, you're saying that guy is the...
I think it's him, yeah. I think he's Sheldon. By the way of appreciation, allow me to say one or two words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. Wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have turned for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more, apt lines, then? Okay. Alright, I am really interested to know what he thinks about the picture that he's in. Try this. Mr. Garadeb, could I ask you to look at this photograph, please? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot, just for kicks, really.
Okay. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Moustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs, before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him?
Well, he looks kind of like Shamsphere.
No.
If he had curls or something.
I don't think that's Shamsphere. I think that's somebody else. I believe Sheldon is Shamsphere. I think Sheldon faked his death in prison, like you were saying, and that there's some type of important reason why he wants Mr. Natsumi's room that's probably going to be very dark. Like,
There's
everything...
something
yeah,
buried there.
that's my, feeling. Yes, Duncan Ross, young chap was attending art school, hard to work and pay for rent, mind you. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after the criminal Sheldon was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them.
What?
A history of cheap rent, maybe? Yeah! Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that alerted me it was. Ah, yes. Synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got inside, we all badly collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. The stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death then. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. I can't tell you how much it set me back to have a lot replaced all over the house. But even after you've had all that work done, Mr. Natsumi says the same thing. That the stove goes out in the night while he's asleep in his bed. Well, that bolly of a curse, the convict's curse. It's done my duty as a landlord now. Someone's feeling defensive.
Well, it's hard. I think he said lots of people die in his...
That reminds me, actually, old man. Yes, what is it, sir? About young Duncan the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now?
I wonder who it was, too.
Ah, here it is. Left it on my desk.
You'll excuse me. I like to read other people's mail. Let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think that we should really be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
Oh, yes, my dear Miss Susie. That is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes. No!
Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really.
I bet it was...
see. What's... that's gonna play on my mind.
I feel like it was to Miss Green. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think so.
But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing, however. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please, I've already had to chastise you about this once.
My undying love to you, my colorful darling. Olive Green.
Oh my gosh! Ah!
Oh, Olive Green?
The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside the house 5 days ago?
The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for regained consciousness only yesterday? Is it just a chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? No, I don't think so.
Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can you mean?
Ah, yes. Reading personal correspondence can have its merit, you see, Miss Susie.
Aha!
Mr. Sholmes!
Indeed.
Well then, I suppose you'll be off of now, right?
Your voices are cute.
Thank you. Let's try presenting the not the capital article. Mr. Garadeb, could I show you this?
Been quite a couple days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. Haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you. Some other time, then. What about the soap? Mr. Garadeb, could I show you this? No, I don't believe so. I can't see a volley of a thing with these old eyes, mind you. Some other time, then. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to speak with Miss Green as she prepares to leave the hospital. Which was right there.
Why did I think it was Miss Green? I think I saw a picture of her and that guy here. I thought she had a picture of her sweetheart here.
She might have.
I swear, I thought I saw them together at some point in the game.
Back to the hospital.
Huh, Drago says someone better pick up the phone because I called it. They're both artists, says Drago. Yeah, that guy was an artist in Miss Green. Great job, Drago. Mr. Naruhodo, I just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
Oh? Well, that's good news, but hopefully just before she leaves...
Ah!
What is it, Susie? Oh, there she is.
No wonder she's so sad. Her guy is gone.
Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment. Oh, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Aww.
She was gonna drink poison.
Oh, hello everybody. What are you doing here? The doctor said I could be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together.
Uh-huh.
Miss Green, what were you just doing, though?
Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's all right.
I really don't have anything else to tell you.
All right, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. All right, let's try the photograph. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you?
Oh, poison.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did.
I think it was poison. Oh, Miss Green, are you all right? Otherwise, why would she say when she got stabbed in the knife, when she was like, oh no, it was actually a good thing. It's like, dude, you're really depressed.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's all right. I just wasn't expecting it. How did you know about Duncan?
Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you.
It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan about a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He's dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day.
And the two of you became romantically involved?
Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
And that's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
And that's what led him to Mr. Garadeb's.
Yes, he told me he'd found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then 1 month ago, that's when it happened.
We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green.
Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose.
Excuse me. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I was starting to think that just... I was starting to think that just look at her. Oh, dang it.
I was starting to think that's just her look that she has all the time.
Oh. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. Okay. Is she willing to actually talk with us now? Yes, okay. Hospital discharge.
It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I think I should not keep anyone else waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around the chat. And chat.
She clearly doesn't want to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure.
I feel like she was gonna take poison.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our... What?
Mr. Naruhodo! Oh, I don't know. Oh, never mind.
Surely you were not about to leave? That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Sholmes? I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time, please.
Mr. Sholmes, what is this about?
Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Miss Susie, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. All right. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see.
You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo! I know you can! Yeah, she was about to take the poison, but what? You can't prevent her. She'll just go home and take it. I mean, it's not like you can talk her out of it. She's super depressed. Oh, I mean, that's just how I feel.
Wasn't that mouse alive a minute ago?
Oh my gosh, the mouse drank the poison!
The mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it before. Did you?
I think perhaps it drank that medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
Huh. You don't think... Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of tragedy about to take place. Yeah, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilt on the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it is sadly dead. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. Susato is so elegant.
Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison.
No!
Miss Green, please, talk to us.
She misses her guy.
She doesn't feel like she can go on living without him. Because she feels alone.
Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes! It may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
Or you could just look at the letter yourself, but... Alright.
And there's a photo.
Mr. Duncan Ross, who would have thought that he was engaged to be married to Miss Green.
To lose one's beloved fiancé must be painful enough, but when
But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury outside her fiancé's former home, too.
Fate can be very cruel sometimes.
Yep. Alright, so it doesn't look like anything else here. Alright, let's try to talk to her then. Aha!
Neither the sender's name or address appeared to be written on the envelope or the card.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital. I have
information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance.
Okay.
Alright. Wait a minute! The 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road.
And 5 p.m.
is precisely the time when the incident occurred.
So she was gonna get information about him, but then somebody stabbed her.
The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on?
Does this mean that...
Yes, I'm sure that you've guessed. That day when I was stuck in the back with a knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad.
Goodness.
Interesting. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day.
I'm sorry, I didn't say anything before.
Okay. 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine?
Well, with this being a hospital and all, the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings. He always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
Ah, conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know, but I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that.
Oh no! Oh no, it's all my fault! What have I done to the mouse?
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none!
But it's not your fault. At least that you didn't die.
Yeah,
You're more important than a mouse.
that's right.
Don't worry about the mouse. Mice die all the time.
I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything.
Yes, I'm very sorry to have drag up such a painful memory for you.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Okay.
Miss Green! Please promise us that you won't try to do anything like that again.
Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now. Anyway, and besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison. I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end, I guess. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel.
Okay.
Not gonna cry.
I know. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bart's hospital behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes.
Honestly, though, if... Oh, never mind.
You're fine.
Well, if we told the people at the hospital she tried to kill herself, they'd probably lock her up.
Yeah.
And they would probably make her life 1,000 times worse, so it's probably better that we don't say anything.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
I mean, I know, like, society tells you to tell on everyone that does that, but in reality, like, sometimes they lock you up and put you in a horrible place.
Well, it would appear we have reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yeah, it's late, though. And Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use in your court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspear, Mr. Garadeb's lodgings, the convict, Sheldon. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway.
I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis.
Into Mr. Natsumi's tea, you mean?
Yes. Will they have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear!
Yeah, Dracula's kind of intense. But I wish you every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow I will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsumi's case until the very end. Well, London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people, but away from the razzle-dazzle down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Sozeki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. Or would it? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, he was saving up for a wedding? A scientist? Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna continue just a little bit more, guys and gals. So,
What a horrible thing. The guy murdered someone who was engaged and was trying to save money by being in a cheap apartment. So he could save up for a wedding.
that's very sweet, actually.
Why is it that I feel for characters that aren't real?
I don't know. The 23rd of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
I can't believe she would have died if we didn't come in right then.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's Soseki-san!
Pretending to be a cat again, are we? Susie.
This is it then, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsumi. To everything.
And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you.
I always appreciate your help, Miss Susie. Suffering Susato selfishly sidelined!
Ah!
Good morning to you, Mr. Natsumi. Good morning, Locrum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Listen to you two chatting away happily as the man play out today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why?
Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly, you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you.
I was waiting! What is the matter, Mr. Natsumi? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally. That's because I attained spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That is sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I missed the signs, I'm afraid, somehow. You'll have to forgive me. Oh...
If you mustn't talk of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume.
That was just an example! Oh yes, there it is, the inner calm that we're all experiencing right now. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you'd abandoned me and returned to our beautiful long-lost homeland.
We're not even been in Great Britain a week yet.
Yeah, well, anyway, I intend to set everything straight in court today and uncover the truth, by the way. Oh. I have actually reached an important decision myself. Oh? What sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. Alright.
It would seem Mr. Shams isn't coming today after all. It's very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits.
It's a very clear message, I think, that he overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis? Long may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative, the trial is about to begin once more. Make your way into the courtroom immediately. Okay, then. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And then the Reaper stands for the prosecution. The defense fate is sealed. And I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. Good times, good times, good times.
Good times.
23rd of February, 9:40, the Old Bailey courtroom. We don't know the number of the courtroom. It doesn't matter. Yes, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session once again. I call upon the counsels of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed once more. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Yeah, the defense is ready too, sir. Very good. That's great. I hope everyone had a wonderful night. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury once again. Chosen by the lot to represent the will of the people in this trial, are you ready to proceed or not? Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words, sir.
I feel obliged to say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my heart is sitting just right.
Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. And please, be as ruthless as you like. What?
Thieves deserve to die, if you ask me. Especially gas thieves. I've no sympathy for the man at all.
Oh my gosh. Look, I just said it yesterday, I said it again now. I don't have time for this. I got my own problems.
Eh? Oh, may the Lord show us all the light and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again.
Alright, this isn't Sunday school. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, what can you tell us? Blah!
The vampire's back, says Prince of Heck Lucifer.
The prosecution's report, please, for the court. Dracula, in relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea. Oh yeah, that's right. So does he have the results or not? Blah, 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 blah.
OH says this is a flashback. If Soseki is found guilty, he will create a paradox.
Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the black guard in the dark.
What?
What?
That's weird.
Pray allow me a moment to savor the liquid for a more, whatever, sanguine?
Sanguine?
Sanguine? Never heard of that. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Alright, as indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsumi brought with him that night. Well, the brains at the yard analyzed it. Yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxin substance in it.
Oh! No poison at all!
In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation! Whoa!
Oh, Droggle says sanguine is another word for blood.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
He is a vampire.
He is a vampire!
As I suspected. Vampire Man. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Suzuki Natsumi, is blameless and blah! Objection.
My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction.
What?
Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. Ledge! But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude with the water in the ocean isn't it salty? What?
My word, what are you getting on about, man? The water in the ocean is extremely salty, Consul.
Blah! Exactly. Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard.
No.
Bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shamspeare,
But we tested the tea.
whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Oh no.
Oh, dude, the tea didn't have any poison in it.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request, even though we found that the tea is completely blameless in this, but why not? I have nothing else to do this morning.
Mr. Shakespeare!
Yep. It sounds like we're gonna have another confrontation with our theatrical friend.
Bailiff, show that crazy person to the stand once again, if you don't mind.
But not as salty as Von Dracula. That's right, Droggle.
Blah!
He is salty.
Mr. William Shamspeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh, heaven! Oh, hell! Do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a belly full of that foul fluid given in mine innocence. Yes, but as revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as he perhaps first has been led to believe. Yes, by using bars of soap such as these, he has been stealing gas from the company. Very wrong. Oh, may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a roomful of the sweet fuel given. That's right, fellow jurors, don't forget this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten. Kept all that about ice coins a titty secret, didn't you? You should have owed up sooner.
Arrest him, I say! Arrest him at once, and let him feel the sting of my tail!
Oh, indeed, by dint of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins of that, I'm sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death may well be deserved, but would it... Ow. Would that still greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of farther east than Verona did contrive to poison me.
Objection!
But there was no poison to be found in the tea in your room. The police attested to that, moron. Quiet, don't badger the witness. What defense would assert an inconsistency would quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspeare? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak it. Oh, well, very well, let the witness testify to explain his inconsistency once again, because why not?
Tim says, I think Van Zeeks brings in a huge stack of wine bottles and chalices.
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
Santa.
Tell the court why it is that poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea, making this an impossibility.
Oh, he did it to himself to frame Soseki.
So he could get to the room where Soseki used to live.
And
That's the room that he asked about.
now we actually have evidence to why he would lie, because we actually got witness testimony from the other guy saying he wanted that room.
So he wanted to kill Soseki the same way that he killed the Duncan character.
But Soseki wouldn't die, so he had to frame him.
Uh-huh. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, ne'er did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. When he departed by and by, I did use that tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus, 'tis no surprise that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. He says that you have to drink the tea while it's hot, so he drank his tea without leaving a mark. Yours, on the other hand, was used to pour to make the ice coins. The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Not that I know, mind you, it's just a friend told me it.
How many people have you taken out with poison, Van Sykes?
That seems quite, very interesting. Otherwise, it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. Unless he'd been building up a resistance to iocane powder. Wait, nope, sorry, that's something else. But no poison bottle was found at the scene, Your Honor. Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. What? The absence of the vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. Ah, I knew that. But now it should be perfectly clear. The bar of 2 cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused hands. Grrr.
People like your Shamsper voice.
Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shamspeare, but a common thief of gas. But, listen well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, my poor Kenneth. Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause. I have not to lose.
Well,
I do declare. Thank you for that terrible acting lesson, you annoying person in the witness stand. Listen, Conto, proceed with your cross-examination, because we have nothing better to do this morning.
Yes, my lord. I will do that, I suppose. Oh.
Citrix Gaming says, K-Wing, read in those words with ease. Oh yeah, those fancy old-fashioned words. Thanks, Citrix!
Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's right.
The Japanese man did cometh to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. And we'll have to wait until tomorrow, because I am doneth for today with this crazy trial of...
Drunkle says, you have everything to lose. You knave.
You knave. Foul knave.
One investigation, no sign of the true culprit here, says OH.
Oh,
yeah.
There's a true culprit. Amber thinks our theories are that this is the Sheldon guy.
Tim says, Luke's voice for Shamsphere is hilarious.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh yeah, so yeah, we think it's a Sheldon. We think it's the guy, the criminal.
We think, yep.
He had to come with a different disguise, because he needed to get back to the place he was in. So it makes sense that he would put on a goofy outfit and pretend to be... Like, what would you do, like, if you needed... Anyway, so people don't like it when I talk at the end, so...
Oh my gosh, we're losing a lot of frames. Guys, are you able to watch this back, or has this been going crazy?
I don't know.
Alright, well anyway people, that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We're dropping frames like insane, I think. But we have a Bowser Jr. thing that is going to happen like around 7 o'clock. That gives about a 30-minute recess until the next stream. And then figure out what I'll be streaming after that. I have no idea just yet. But if you missed the Mario and Luigi video that went up, you have time to watch that, as well as liking and sharing this video and checking out our awesome short. Tomorrow's short is on Justice League Heroes, thanks to people in the community section for the heads up. Although it's not quite the short that people asked about, it is a funny episode from years ago about Superman and Martian Manhunter talking about being the last survivor of Mars, which actually was a very funny short. And that'll be going up at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, you showed me that.
As well as I've made a bunch of shorts. But I will see you guys with Bowser Jr. I'm going to have some soup to try to clear up my throat a little bit more. And yeah, all that good stuff. Thank you again, Capcom, for providing a copy of this game. And we'll see you guys in a half-hour time with your next live stream. As always, leave a comment after this video to help boost it in the algorithm, as well as liking and sharing the video once it concludes. Alright guys, God bless and happy gaming. See you in a little bit with your next live stream. Bye-bye.
See ya!